Hello, everyone. I want to remind you if you hear something in the background, even though I think the mic, the audio would not pick it up, but there are my neighbors making loud noises in the background, and they have kids, so we let them be. So because that's what kids supposed to be, and if it's excessive, they will learn that they cannot do that. So they learn to let it go. And I feel like that's really important for kids to, like just let their emotion flow and be heard and expressed in a way that they are feeling. Because I feel like many people have too many history that they think other would replay and re-experience, and they think like you cannot do that. Like just they stop you before you eventually do anything, even though like it will go there, but will it be more meaningful if you just let the kid be the kid, and then when you hear what this kid said and then you can replay back, you just say it something like this: that is not how we do things here, so I just want you to know that that is not something that you want to say when you actually want to have this kind of thing, so you can say it differently. So that is the narrative that I'm feeling when I have kids. But yeah, I feel like they need to be kids forever. They need to be, because they learn to be themselves. Like that is the time to learn self-acceptance, self-esteem, confidence, that sort of concept. Because if you are not letting the kids be the kids, then they are going to cocoon themselves and not be who they are. So yeah, that's part of the story, the background noise if you hear it. And what I want to share next is about when I have this emotion wave to be so dramatic, like lately. Partially, well, not partially, it's a big part of it was because I fall back on my health, and therefore I don't have the best way of feeling, and I get that nuance. I'm fighting really hard for my freedom and all that stuff. And that's true, but also like whenever it happened and then it passed like this, like now, like right now, I don't necessarily have any emotional wave. It's just that because I have been such a hectic past couple of days, I just want to do nothing. I just want to do nothing. And that's what happened. I literally do nothing today, and it's already 5 p.m. And we only have 1 hour left to finish whatever we want to do today. So yeah, I feel like I fall back down on my main channel, on my business, even though like I already scheduled some content. It's just that I didn't do anything for it since I scheduled the thing. So that's messed up because I have been thinking, how do I actually do this? How do I actually do that? And then we got it down in the last couple of days because we just been thinking about that. And then I get it to the point like, oh my God, I'm so lazy. The lazy is not the kind of lazy that I want to persist. And that's why I feel so regretful about it. If it's the kind of laziness that I'm like, I vote for and I'm like, I'm gonna like stay within. But that's the thing, like when you have built the system to actually go with where you are going, it will be such a wonderful time. But then when you have this kind of narrative that just blocking your path, you're like, what am I doing? Why am I not doing the things that I want to do? Well, the system are not up for it. So that's partially why. And it is true that I come into a fall down. on it. So is it too bright? I feel like this is like way too bright for the last couple of stream. Hmm. You know why? Ever since I did the thumb pulling, my eyes that usually have a very asymmetry feeling now it become really symmetrical. Not really, really, but it becomes a lot more symmetrical in a way. Even though like it's not the way that I want it to be, but it just happened to be that way. Huh. That's a shame. But that's one of it. Like I have so many updates. It's just that some of the updates are not something that I wanna just celebrate. But we are celebrating that we are free from the emotional wave that is not great for the place that we want to go. And yeah, hmm, I don't have any plan for this stream. That's why I didn't schedule it. And I see that the schedule is up in my channel, but it did not send to the viewers or the people, my subscribers. So I assume that if you go to my channel, you can see what I have planned. But today we have none. So I don't really have any subject. But I do think of this thing is that you are built within a system. So when the system completely undisturbed, you are going to go by that system. And when you want to change it, you literally planting a little bit fires here and there that is going to disrupt the pattern, and eventually you start to accommodating to what kind of new pattern you are building. That's what I feel with this live stream, because I personally have a really hard time to start, but then we get to a point where okay, we actually got it down. We don't necessarily have that emotional mm, oh my god, why am I always forgetting the title for it? The emotional imposter thing. Like I'm not really here, but I'm like really here. So I got it down, and then for the topic and all, we got it down too. And it's more of like, can we sustain the speech right now? The thing that we want to talk about, can we let it flow so coherently that the opening makes sense by the end of it? As like a freaking storytelling. Like I want to go there. Like that is the kind of live stream that I go for. And I feel like last couple of days have been like that. And it's really wonderful, but it's planned. So we can like try not to plan it and still make sense by the end of the story. We probably can, because we also have done that. But that's the thing, like the system, you are built within a system. And when you want to disrupt the system, you kind of like plant something inherently unnatural for your system, which is like a virus. And you plant it somewhere, and you go for it for long enough to essentially know that we already accommodate to the virus, and we already let the virus be the natural state of who we are, which is great, because now I can like start to plan the system that I want to play, and eventually build more to accommodate my life in a really sustainable way, which is like I feel like you will not know what I'm saying. But if you get it, thank you so much for rising your frequency with me. It was raining today. It was just raining, but then Oh yeah, it's trickling. I remember it's trickling. I don't know why I say trickling, but then it's bright up outside and it's just like really, really nice weather. Like I have this call. I don't know if I have told you about this or what, because it was really intuitive. Like I had this thought to go outside and like do something, just look at the sky and see what's there, and just like, because I have a tendency to just zoning out into my own thought, and people think like I'm being possessed by something because I am that mysterious, and people drawn to conclusion I'm like that, but I'm just staring at nothing, feeling the nature, being in the present while thinking nothing. So that's probably what threw people off. And I got that instinct to just like go outside, look at the sky. And then a couple weeks later, the news broke out about, oh, we are going to have an UFO files. And I'm like, what? What is going on? I don't know. I never truly see it like face to face, a craft, but I have been in it in different way. Not in the dreams, it was in a meditation, I was in a craft, and it was really fascinating because I was the captain, a different way of the captain of the ship, but I was the captain. There are my crews and my supervisor, and I was laying dead on the ground near the door, and I don't know why I'm dead. And then I am there as me, the human me, and then my supervisor saw me seeing the body laying dead on the ground, on the floor, and I see the supervisor seeing me, seeing her, and we were like, "What? I don't know why I'm here." And then I just zoom out from the ship. It's a really weird experience because I never actually connected to them, and then I got so confused. Why am I thinking about that? And then eventually, I remember a dream about those two beings, which is the supervisor and my dead body. Don't know why. It's a weird experience. I wonder, like, if I get inside the dead body, would I would I be there and I'm not here? It's a weird feeling because I understand that that body was me, but I'm here as a human. Maybe past life, maybe connected life, maybe soul family. I don't know. There are so many. That is the only unexplained experience that I have about UFO that I have yet have any confirmation about. I feel like I want to do that past life regression to just see what is that about and see if I can ignite a certain spiritual gift rather than the psychic one. Because the psychic one has been here for the longest, but the quantum leap, the reality jumping, the gatekeeper are somewhat here and just like there, and I don't like being the receiver of that because it's not consistent, and it always took me by surprise, and I hate it. So that's the only why I want to master my spiritual gift, because so it doesn't took me by surprise. And the psychic one sometimes took me by surprise is because I just knew things, and I'm just like, why am I knowing things? Because it also like take me out from the social life. I'm like, I'm like, Why am I not interested to get to know this person? Well, because I know this person is like this, like this, like this, and we already know that we are not gonna match in this frequency and this frequency. So I just don't look forward to getting to know other people. It's a really toxic pattern, and that's why I like to close my psychic gift, because it gets into that, and then I know things that I shouldn't know because the person doesn't want me to know, and I also don't want to know, and then it happened to be like, why did I know that? It is not a good feeling, but sometimes it's useful. And sometimes I once predicted someone to have a really not so good future, and I told it to my friend who is going to be in a close proximity with that friend. And I'm like, you gotta be careful with this person when this person has something problematic around her. And eventually it broke down, it broke out. And she is really problematic in dating. And my friends is really, like that girl that is easily falling in love and date someone. So I'm like, you gotta be careful with this person because of that. Thankfully, she listened to me and they didn't get into any trouble. But yeah, I don't like when I know things. And even like if the person doesn't know it, I just know it will happen. Talking about psychic gift, do you know how people will be dead? And I have this instinct and I have the vision. Whenever someone is about to die, they have this light around their essence. Now, essence can be like a soul, but essence, did I say it right? An essence. Essence is like essentially essence is the kind of frequency that is belong to that special person, and it cannot be replicated, and that essence is glowing with a golden light. That's how I see it. I saw it with my dad, with my soon be dead human. I don't know how I see it. I just like walk with him and we are talking, and then I see the light. And then a couple months later, he's dead. And then I see on my uncle, and I saw it, but it took him a while. But I think like COVID took him out and then become like that. And then I see it with what do you call it? An MC, like a host, a show host, and this person took her own life because I see the light, that light around her essence. There are so many ways to actually get out from this life, but when a person is actually taken out from this life, is different from actually killing themselves. So the light is different, but I see the experience of seeing the light, and I'm like, that's interesting. And there is also a celebrity that has the same light, and she also killed herself. So these two people who killed themselves have the same experience psychically for me when I see them. But I don't know why I see it. And that's why it took me by surprise. But I get to a point where if they are about to go, then what we can do as a person who see it is paving the path for them after they eventually there, because that people also need some guidance to like essentially not lost in the afterlife. Because when you go to the afterlife, when you have this so much disconnection within yourself, you're eventually going to lost yourself. That's true. I've seen it happen. I've seen it. I've seen the ghosts flying around, and then they took my presents. And when I took a picture of myself with my friends, I'm not there. They are there. So I have been the gate of their physical experience. And that ghost have the experience of losing themselves in the afterlife because they are still like flying there here and there, not really like going to the next life. If you believe in reincarnation, that's what you got. Or return back to the source, which is what you can, like going back into the universe and just be part of it and sustain this reality. Because you can also be that. If you don't want to, if you don't have any mission, any agenda about your soul, and you just want to rest, and that's what you do. So, exactly coming back to the source and be part of the reality. But yeah, it's a really weird experience. I didn't know I have talked about 20 minutes. But do we have anything else we want to share? Some inhumans are watching me right now. I just see them moving. Mm. Can you also hear the fan? The fan is actually pretty loud right now. I set it in the higher level. I don't know why I want to talk about something, but the thing that coming out is actually a different one. I want to talk about the system, but it always like coming out to a different one. Or maybe I forgot about something and I just distract myself. I just end it here. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.